Previously, you talked about a network of forces that we're living in, and a couple that decide to get married, they become like one cell in that system. Of course, they start sharing everything in life and so on, but on the level that you're talking about, how do they become like one cell? By each annulling himself towards the other. What do you mean by annulling oneself? Annulling one's ego towards the other in a way that both of them become as one. If I annul myself towards my spouse in everything that I can, and she does the same towards me, and we do all of that in order to achieve a spiritual goal, then what follows is that we build something common, something mutual. And there we're as if invested 50-50. And by that, we awaken, invoke the force of nature, the upper force, that connects us. Because if we want to connect, we also discover that we can't. Yeah, it's like the traditional breaking of the glass during the chuppah, the Jewish wedding ceremony, and then the rabbi explains that the pieces, they come to imply that we'll have to correct the shattering in our life. Well, the glass is not the problem. What we discover about life is that it's included of broken parts and pieces that are given to us in a broken way to begin with. It's not that we shatter or break life, but we have to try and collect the pieces. And this is how we reach connection, where we complete each other. And inside the connection, we discover a new spiritual life. And humanity has no other way but to keep the connection, starting with the covenant of marriage between a man and a woman, and the connection between families and groups and nations, until all of humanity enters a covenant. But in each and every covenant, both the individual and also the collective one, we need the upper force, the force of nature, to connect and sustain our connection. We achieve the need, the necessity for our connection, but it's not that we're capable of achieving that. Here, we're needy of the upper force, and therefore, the form of the covenant includes in it a triangle, which is the bride, the groom, man and woman, and the upper force from above that they want to achieve a connection with, which is the correct covenant, that they reach a connection with the upper force, and it sustains the connection between them and covers them. And then they reach a higher degree, meaning they elevate themselves from the animate level to the speaking level. What is that force? That force is the general force of nature, which sustains all of nature, and that's how it's called, the force of nature. You can call it God, you can give it different names, but it is the general force that exists in reality and sustains it. And what's the connection between it and the marriage covenant? Then the connection is simple, that by our covenant we want to achieve that force, we want to rise to its level, we want to get to know it. That we form a place, a deficiency between us, an empty place, in order to discover that force, meaning both of us become as a new sense, special, new sense, sixth sense, additional sense, that by our deficiency, we discover, we reveal our deficiency to that force, and it comes and connects us and becomes revealed in the connection. So, just to understand, you're saying that a spiritual connection between spouses is a connection where both of them want to reveal in their connection the upper force. Yes. So again, what is that upper force? It is the force of mutual love, mutual bestowal, a force which revives everything, a force that connects everyone. The force of bestowal and love, which is the general force and actually the only force that is working, operating in nature, where all the rest of the forces, they actually exist in order to disclose it, to reveal it. They're influencing us in different forms on purpose, in favor and against, in order to create a desire, a so-called deficiency in us, for that general force to dwell in us. What do you mean that we've discovered a deficiency for it? You mean all of our conflicts? All the conflicts are, of course, made by it on purpose, so that eventually at the end of our development, maybe not in one generation, but several generations, many generations, one after the other, we collect these impressions until we reach a decision that we need it. And we want to exist in order to discover it and not to draw it in order to sustain our short corporeal life, so it will be somehow correctly arranged in corporeality. Our time's almost up. I'd like to conclude this talk with a precise definition. What should we have in a marriage covenant that will lead us to a spiritual connection? You have to have the upper partner, which is the upper force of bestowal and love, that we mutually love and bestow to each other with the intention to reveal Him between us. And then, only by all the time being directed at that third force, by that we sustain our covenant. As it says, Ish ve'isha shchina b'neim, man and woman, God between them.